Hello, welcome to Cynic's Sanctuary of Sleepless Nights. I'm your host, Cynic, and I'll be guiding you through the darkest corners of the internet. If you're a fan of Reddit's /nosleep, you're in the right place. Every week, I'll be bringing you chilling tales of horror, the paranormal, and the unexplained, all inspired by the best of our /nosleep. From creepypastas to terrifying personal experiences, I'll be diving into the world of sleepless nights and emerging with stories that will haunt your dreams. So, if you're ready to confront the darkness, subscribe to Cynic's Sanctuary of Sleepless Nights, hit that notification bell, and join me on this journey into the heart of horror. Here goes the story of a Redditor. I can't remember how I met my best friend.
I can't remember how I met my best friend. Kaylee has been my best friend for as long as I can remember. For me, that's not a figure of speech. I literally can't remember how I met her. I can't find any photos of me with her before 3rd grade, so I guess I met her around then. Strangely, though, she's not in any of my class photos. I remember her coming over my house all the time, but I don't ever remember going to hers. These things never struck me as weird until a few days ago, when I really sat down and thought about them. Some things in life, you just sort of accept as fact, right? They've gone on so long you don't remember how they started. Like how I always put eggs on the top shelf of the fridge, or how I always tuck my blanket under my feet before going to bed. I don't remember how it started. I've just always done it that way, as long as I can remember. So how did I meet her? I don't remember. They say if you lose your sight, you don't see pitch black, or nothingness, or a void. You just have the absence of sight. That's how it is for me with Kaylee. There's no remnant of a memory, nothing on the tip of my tongue. It just isn't there. A few days ago, I asked her about it. Do you remember how we met? What do you mean? She asked, her smile faltering. Well, we met when I was around 8, right? But you went to a different school. So, how did we meet? It was at that summer camp, wasn't it? She asked. With the bottle rockets? I don't think so. I'd only gone one summer, and I was pretty sure that was the summer after 4th grade. Church, then. Which church? Kaylee paused. The one off Main Street, with the steeple. Which one? Oh, I'm not sure. You know I'm not religious, she said with a laugh. The one on the corner, or on Elm Street? She paused. Elm, I think. Well, my parents took me to St. Paul's on the corner, I said. So it couldn't have been church. Huh, she said, shrugging. Then I don't know how we met. It was weird. She seemed confused, and yet it almost felt like she was playing the role of a fortune teller, throwing out vague answers and hoping I'd jump in with more details. So you don't remember how we met? I said, with finality. I guess I don't. She shook her head, her bleach blonde hair shaking around her face. Isn't that silly? We've been best friends for 10 years, and we can't even remember how we met. I wanted to ask her more, but then my roommate got home, and my roommate is a bit persnickety, so we decided to quietly watch a movie in my room to give her some peace. It seemed weird to bring up again. I was probably overthinking things. That night, however, I couldn't sleep. As Kaylee slept peacefully on the futon in the common area, I lay wide awake in my bed. Why can't I remember? And then a thought occurred to me. Someone else must remember. I went on Facebook and clicked over to our 21 mutual friends. I started scrolling, making a mental list of who is most likely to know. But then, a sudden realization hit me. Each of these friends, I'd introduced to her. None of these were her friends originally. They were all mine. I squinted at the screen. How does that make sense? Has she really never introduced me to her friends? And now that I thought about it, she was always visiting me at my dorm, making the 2-hour drive. She offered because I was broke and couldn't afford the gas, but maybe there was more to it than that. Why had I never thought about this before? I scrolled back through my Facebook photos to some childhood photos I'd posted. Kaylee was in them, sure as day. She looked different. Her hair wasn't bleached then, her face was chubbier, but from the dimples to the sharp chin, it was her. I clicked back on her Facebook page and scrolled, and that's when I realized something. Every single post involved me, or one of our 21 mutual friends. I didn't see a single tag by someone I didn't know. Well, that could be the privacy settings, couldn't it? Like her friends who've tagged her have made the post only visible to their friends or mutuals. Or something. But not a single post? It was like her entire life revolved around me. Like every single event in her life was related to me, directly or indirectly. I gave up on sleep. I got out of bed and walked into the common room, grabbing a Coke from the mini fridge. Kaylee was sleeping soundly on the futon. I glanced over at her, my heart pounding. Her pale skin was blue in the light from the microwave clock. Muffled music came from my roommate's room. She was still up. With my mind racing and no one else to talk to, I went over. "Can I come in for a second?" I called quietly through the door. As soon as she opened it, I darted inside. "There's something weird about Kaylee." Isabel scoffed. Yeah, duh. What? She's weird. Always has been. You just noticing this now. I frowned at her. Okay, sorry, that came out really mean. But it's true. She's just weird. I wish she wouldn't come over every weekend, but since you're really good about Ben coming over, I never say anything. She doesn't come over every weekend, I huffed. It's been a lot. I mean, she was here homecoming weekend, then those 2 weekends in October, then Halloween. She wasn't here Halloween, I protested. Oh yes, she was, Isabel replied. Ben and I had to go over to his place, because she was here with you. I shook my head. No. She wasn't here Halloween. We stared at each other. Isabel's irritation melted to confusion. She wasn't here. I had COVID, remembers? But I saw her. When we came back from the Beta Theta Pi party, she was here. We had to go to Ben's place. The room started to tilt around me. I remember being so sick that weekend, in and out of sleep half the day. But she was here? Without me knowing? You must have gotten the weekends confused, I said weakly. No, I remember it clearly because we were both in our costumes. Do you know how itchy that Harley Quinn wig is? Kaylee must have let herself in. But why? Now that I thought about it, that weekend there had been some weird stuff. I'd chalked it up to delirium at the time, but I remember not being able to find my phone. My milk was missing from the fridge. I thought it had been Isabel or Ben, but it had been Kaylee. She was here. Watching me? Watching me sleep? What the fuck? I was jolted out of my thoughts by a thump outside, coming from the common room. Kaylee, I whispered. The footsteps, slow and deliberate, started down the hall. My door creaked open. She's looking for me. I ran over to the door and locked it. I held a finger to my lips, standing absolutely still, so still I could hear the blood pulsing in my ears. The footsteps started back up into the common room, and then towards our door, getting louder. Isabel glanced down, and her eyes went wide. She's right there, Isabel mouthed to me. The footsteps stopped. The door handle made a ratcheting sound as Kaylee tried to turn it. Once, twice, 3 times. Haley? Are you in there? I held my breath. Isabel? I closed my eyes. She'll just go away. She'll think Isabel's asleep, and I just stepped out. Isabel's computer is on, but it's dark in here, so we're fine. I took in a slow, quiet breath. We're fine. She's just going to go back to sleep. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know you're in there. A raspy whisper. Unlike anything I'd heard Kaylee say. And it was coming from the crack under the door. I could feel her breath against my ankles. Isabel clapped a hand over her mouth. I took a shaking step away from the door. Let me in, she whispered. Her slim, pale fingers shot through the crack under the door and swept back and forth, quickly, frantically, trying to grab any part of us she could. Let me in now. Isabel grabbed her phone off the desk and dialed 911. The fingers retracted and footsteps sounded in the common room. By the time the police got here, Kaylee was gone. It's been 2 days and I haven't heard from Kaylee. I think about her every waking minute. I've barely eaten or slept. I keep replaying that night through my head, wondering what she would have done if I hadn't locked the door. I've done my research, though. Combed through social media and photo albums and everything. There is no physical evidence that Kaylee existed in my life before a year ago. Because those photos from my childhood? My mom insists I never had a friend named Kaylee. When she dug the old photo albums out of the attic, she wasn't in any of them. Kaylee's face only appeared in the digital scans of the photos I'd posted online. Photos I'd posted in the past year. And those 21 mutual friends, they all met her in the past year, too. She'd made an effort to befriend my friends, find them online. But none of the friendships went back more than a year. I'd checked each and every one. And now, suddenly, I'm having trouble recalling all those memories with her. I can barely remember what she looked like. Blonde hair, pale skin, dimples, I knew that much. But if you showed me a lineup of 10 girls with those qualities, I don't think I'd be able to pick her out. Which leads me to the horrifying conclusion. If she ever finds me again, whether that's in days, or years, or decades, I won't even know it's her.
Thanks for joining me in the sanctuary of sleepless nights. If you survived this episode, congratulations. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying tales. Hit that notification bell to stay up to date. Check out our community in the comments below. If you're feeling brave, share your own sleepless night stories with me on social media using #CynicsNightStories. Until next time, when the darkness closes in, sleep tight, but don't say I didn't warn you.